Can we overcome tyranny when the people are complacent? No. The sad fact about democracy is that the people get what they want. You know, H.L. Mencken had this line. He said that democracy is the theory that the common people know what they want and they deserve to get it good and hard, which is a very lurid way of describing our political process.
Can government tyranny truly end when the people are continually compliant? For example, you know, we complain about wearing masks, but here we are complying with the executive decrees.
Yeah, I mean, to the specific point about the masks, we do have to be a little clever here. We need to be wise as a serpent and innocent as a dove. The left-wing politicians in this state and elsewhere do not want this to take place. They don't want this event to take place. They don't want conservatives coming to college campuses. If they could shut down the work of YAF in 2 seconds, they would do it. And so, if we can kind of work our way around their attempts by wearing a mask every now and again, I think there's a good defense of doing that. I don't think there's any defense of doing it in your private life, really, but we do need to be a little bit clever here. To your broader question, can we overcome tyranny when the people are complacent? No. The sad fact about democracy is that the people get what they want. You know, H.L. Mencken had this line. He said that democracy is the theory that the common people know what they want and they deserve to get it good and hard, which is a very lurid way of describing our political process. We get what we want. We've empowered these people for a reason. Now, probably that government has taken on a life of its own at this point. We are governed in many ways by the bureaucracy, the deep state, the administrative state, the blob, call it whatever you want, which are not particularly accountable to elected representatives. But we elect plenty of squishes and who allow this to go on. It's the same reason that virtue matters in politics. Getting back to an earlier question about whether we're going to go back to a kind of squishy idea of conservatism from maybe 10 years ago that says we can't have any definitive thoughts about anything. We just have to let everybody do whatever they want and pretend that liberalism is neutral. And of course, you can't do that. Our founding fathers knew very well that virtue is a prerequisite for free government. The ancient Greeks, the earlier Republicans and Democrats understood that as well. But the Founding Fathers wrote about this so explicitly. You must be virtuous. A culture that is constantly living in a state of grave mortal sin and celebrating vices all the time is not going to remain free very long. I don't mention this to moralize or to preach. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, everybody falls for some temptations now and again. I just mean this as a purely descriptive political matter. If we do not take virtue seriously in the country, we won't have free government. If we do not take courage seriously, we won't have free government. And that's what you're seeing around you right now.